Yo guys, what's up? Bonzi-chan here, back at you with another Pokemon trading card game online video. And today we have an awesome deck, extremely budget friendly, extremely fun, and dare I say good. I've yet to prove if it's good or not, but it's a very fun deck, and it's very budget friendly, as you guys can probably see by the deck list in front of you. We have no Tapu Lele, which at the time of recording this video is a $35 card online and a 40-pack card on the trade window. And no Shaman EX, which is still about a $35-40 card, and 40 packs on TCGO, even though it should only be 25. But let's be real, people want more than that. But anyway, so this is Golispod, and which we got from Guardians Rising. So here's Golispod. So Golispod is a stage 1 grass type with 130 HP, which is not bad. Kind of weak for a stage 1 though. Most basic Pokemon previously had this kind of HP. Things like your baby Volcanion, your baby Veltal, things of that nature that would have high HP, this amount of HP. But this is made up for by the ability Armor, which it takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. So if they hit you for 160, you're only going to take 130, so that's a bad example. Let's say a Lurantis hits you for 40, you're only going to take 10. Let's say a Decidueye hits you for 90, you're only going to take 60. So it's a pretty good ability, makes Golispod very resilient to damage. It cancels out a Choice Band if your opponent... Actually, it doesn't even matter because Golispod itself is not an EX, so we're immune to Choice Band, which is really nice. We play no EXs and no GXs, so Choice Band against us is pretty much useless. So that's cool. And its attack is Resolute Claws for colorless and for a grass and a double colorless. It does 80 damage plus, and you get extra damage. You get a 70 extra damage if the defending Pokemon is a GX or EX. And it's before applying weakness resistance. So if they have a GX and it's weak to grass, such as Lapras, you're going to hit for 150 damage. The only thing hampering this card is its retreat cost of 2, which does suck. But we have ways around that. And to go with that, we have 4 copies of Wimpod. Now, its attacks are all useless. Don't ever attack with this card. It's pretty bad. Scamper away is pretty horrible, but it does have 70 HP, so it will survive 3 Feather Arrows from a Decidueye. But you're going to want to try to evolve into Golispod from Wimpod as soon as possible, because it is a pretty fragile creature. And then we have 4 copies of Talonflame to go with the rest of the deck, and this is the last of our Pokemon. Now this is the Steam Siege Talonflame, which has seen a lot of play in decks like Greninja Break. There's a Typhlosion deck going on that plays this, and a Fight Alone Lucario deck that runs this. So I figure let's slide it in and see how it does, and it actually does pretty well. If you start with Talonflame, you're pretty much good to go. If you do not start with Talonflame, it's not a big deal because we do play a lot of search, a lot of draw, and a lot of ways to get our Golispod going. But if you guys aren't familiar with what Talonflame does, it has the ability Gale Wings, and if it's in your hand when you're setting up to play, you may play it face down as your active Pokemon. So if you draw your first 7 cards and there's a Talonflame in there, you can put down 1 Talonflame as your active Pokemon, but not on your bench. So you can only play 1 of these if you... So let's say you draw 4, only 1 of them goes down as your active. The other 3 you can't play. So the other 3 immediately are useless and dead cards. So that's the drawback, but at the same time you can just discard them with Ultra Ball and Sycamore and get them out of your hand. So that's cool. And then Arrow Blitz, it's its only attack for a single energy, does 40 damage. And you search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck afterwards, so you can use this to grab things that you need for your next turn. This is going to force your opponent to have to play an N or something to get rid of that those 2 cards in your hand that you really wanted, which most of the time you're going to take things like Golisopod and Force Giant Plants or Trainers Free Plants deck. But let's get right into the trainers. We have 1 copy of Enhanced Hammer, just as a one of. It's really good against things like Decidueye, Tauros, Lugia, Umbreon, Espeon, what else? Turbo Dark, Dark Dragons. There's just so many decks that play Special Energy that Enhanced Hammer is definitely a must play in my opinion in every deck, as at least one of. We play 2 copies of Escape Rope in case we get Lysandre out early game and have our Golisopod stuck in the active when we still want to attack with Talonflame. We have 2 copies of Escape Rope for that. Then we also have 2 copies of Field Blower just to discard our opponent's tools in stadiums. This lets you do some really cheeky things, like you could, if you're playing against another deck that runs the same stadium as you, you can use your opponent's stadium and then Field Blower away, so that way they don't have the stadium for the next turn. Keep that in mind, guys. Sometimes it does come in handy. We play 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher. I chose Rescue Stretcher over Super Rod because we do play quite a bit of special energy. So using this, I felt it was better. And also it gives us options. So let's say we really need that one Golisopod in our hand to evolve and then start swinging. We can do it that way, or we can just use this as if we burn a lot of resources early. We can just shuffle in 3 Pokemon into our discard pile. Into our deck. To go with that, though, we also play 2 copies of Revitalizer to grab 2 grass Pokemon put directly in our hand. If we have Force of Giants plants down, we can play Revitalizer, grab a Wimpod and a Golisopod, and just go straight into Golisopod on the bench, and then get into the active. We play 1 copy of Special Charge since we do play 4 copies of DCE, so we are going to play 1 copy of Special Charge to shuffle any DCEs that end up in our discard pile back into our deck. We play 1 copy of Town Map just because if more than one Golisopod is prized or more than one Wimpod is prized, even though we play a lot of recovery, you want to be able to grab those Pokemon out of your prize cards just to make sure you have your full potential of swinging. Same thing if your double colorless energy get prized, you really want those too, so Town Maps are a really good inclusion in here, just to make sure you grab the correct prizes. And then we play 4 copies of Trainers Mail just for consistency. 4 copies of Ultra Ball to grab our Wimpods or Golisopods whenever we want. Unfortunately, Golisopod is not searchable by Level Ball. If it was searchable by Level Ball, we would be playing Level Balls. But since we don't play a huge evolution line, Terror Ball doesn't make any sense either. So we're just going to stick with Ultra Ball, and since we're playing Talonflame, we'll end up discarding extra Talonflames with Ultra Ball whenever possible. Next up, we got 4 copies of VS Seeker, just because it is VS Seeker. 3 copies of Force of Giant Plants. Now this is the only stadium. The only reason why we're playing this stadium is that it's the only stadium that makes sense. And if we get stuck with a Wimpod in the active starting in our game and we don't have anything else, having Force of Giant Plants just evolve straight away is really nice. Yeah, there's really not another stadium that makes any sense for this deck. I guess you could play Silent Lab, but that doesn't really accelerate your plan. And we're trying to hit for massive amounts of damage as fast as possible, not trying to control what our opponent does, so at Force Giant Plants helps with that plan of hitting hard and hitting fast. We play 2 copies of Lysandre. Nowadays, with how much ability hate there is and how much item hate there is, playing 2 copies of Lysandre to get out those key Pokemon to knock them out quickly is the best way to go. We play 3 copies to end for draw support and consistency. We play 1 copy of Professor Kukui just to help with the numbers. Even if you hit, let's say you hit a GX or an EX, you will hit for 150, but most things have more than 150 health. Usually around the 170 range is where you're trying to hit. So we play Kukui to help us hit that 170 number when we need to. And also drawing 2 cards is not bad. We play 4 copies of Professor Sycamore because it's the single best draw supporter in the game. This is the one card I'm unsure of, is Team Skullgrunt. This card lets your opponent has to reveal their hand, discard 2 energy cards from there. Team Skullgrunt is a really amazing card just because you can deny so much energy from your opponent, and if they happen to have 2 double colors in their hand, you can get rid of those and then force them to have to use something like Special Charge, or you're playing against the Decidueye Plume, you have to make them use a Hollow Hunt to get it back. Team Skullgrunt I feel like is a card that a lot of people are sleeping on up until recently, but I feel like in this deck it's okay. One other card that I think would be a good replacement for this card, or that might be better upon further testing, would be Olympia, just as a non-item switching card. Then we play 3 copies of Choice Band to help hit higher numbers. Golisopod will do 150 to EX and GXs. This will bump that up to 180 with Kukui, make it 200. Let us take knockouts on those bulkier GXs, such as well, Lapras we hit for weakness. Tauros is the main one. Yes, Tauros is the main one. Same thing with Drampa. Lets us hit those higher numbers. If you are playing as something like Espeon or Umbreon, this lets you hit that magic number of 200, which most evolutions have. So that's why we play 3 copies of Choice Band. We also play 4 copies of Double Colorless Energy, because we do need Double Colorless Energy in order to attack with our Golispod. It's a lot faster than attaching 3 energy manually. And we play 5 copies of Basic Grass Energy for all of our Golisopods and our Talonflame. I would definitely, now for the inspection, I'm actually going to drop the Team Skull Grunt, because I just realized something here. And I'm going to go into Trainers, and I am going to put a Super Rod in the deck just to recycle energy, because with only playing 5 Grass Energy, we will have a hard time hitting all the energies we need. So we're gonna take out that Team Skull Rod because the one card doesn't really fit. We're gonna take out one Super Rod, take out the Team Skull Grunt for 1 Super Rod, just so we can recycle our energies. That was something I never thought of. That could be why I was having problems the longer the game went. But we're gonna get a game in here. Hopefully we get some quality games. It is kind of early in the morning, so maybe not. We were playing against a Psychic Colorless deck. This probably is Garbodor or some kind of Espeon deck, possibly even Mega Mewtwo. We will go first just to see what our, because I like to go first. Now this is pretty much like the God Start. We have the Talonflame, we have the Wimpod, we have a Grass Energy, and we have a Trainer's Mail in the end. So we have lots of options we can have available to us. Our opponent is taking a little while to choose their active Pokemon. We're going to go ahead and drop down our Talonflame and our Wimpod. And then we'll see what we get off this Trainer's Mail. If we get something cool, maybe an Ultra Ball, we can grab like a Golisopod or something. Actually, I don't know. We have to wait and see where our opponent flips over. So it is Mewtwo of some kind of variation of Mewtwo. So we're gonna go ahead and go Trainer's Mail. We will probably end up playing N next turn, so I don't really want to grab that Choice Band. We'll just go ahead and grab it anyway. We could actually even play this down onto Talonflame to do 70 damage and start chipping away pretty early, but we are going to hold it. Right now we're not going to drop down the Choice Band carelessly. Dropping down any tool card carelessly now is really bad because of the fact that Field Blower exists. You want to save your Choice Bands especially for when you are going to attack. That way you can actually get some use out of it and get some value. Whereas if we were to play it down there and our opponent happened to have a Field Blower, we would have lost all value off of it. And keeping it in our hand versus not playing, keeping it in our hand versus playing on the Talonflame didn't really matter. Our opponent chose not to do anything. Okay, so he didn't have anything in his discard pile. That's why. So we're going to go ahead and drop the Choice Band on Talonflame just to get some damage in while we search for cards. We're going to play N. Our opponent didn't really play anything, but we're going to take away the energy card he has in his hand. We do get an Ultra Ball, which is awesome. So we will go ahead and force a Giant Plants. Use Ultra Ball to discard our Lysandre and our Sycamore. And grab ourselves a Golisopod and evolve right into that. We did play N, so there's no point in VS Seekering. So we're going to go ahead here and Arrow Blitz, upping our damage, and we are going to grab ourselves a Double Colorless Energy. Actually, let's identify our prizes really quick. So none of our Pokemon are prized. We have 1 Field Blower prized. We played those earlier. Played the N. We have 1 Sycamore prized, 1 Choice Band, 1 Double Colorless, and 2 Grass Energy are prized. Okay, so, and our Town Map is too? Our Town Map is prized. That does suck. Oh, damn. Oh, God. Oh, I don't play Talonflame on TCGO a lot. This is actually the first deck I've used with the Talonflame. So, I did not grab 2 cards. That does suck. I would have grabbed the Wimpod. This set up another Golisopod, but we have it available to us. We can actually take a really easy knockout on that Tauros, just so it's not a problem later. The one we will hit for 180. I'm trying to decide though what is a bigger priority: this Mewtwo, which has a high energy cost, which. Okay, so it's a Mega Mewtwo. he's going to attach it down. Is he going to Mega Evolve? He's going to Timer Ball. So this is some really like janky homebrew Mega Mewtwo deck. So he's probably going to grab a Mega Mewtwo and an Espeon. Yep, exactly. Unfortunately, we do not really have a way of... that's 220, 150, so... Oh, wait, 210, right? That is 210. So... Oh, he doesn't have the energy required to attack, though. So let's drop down this Choice Band and this double Colorless. Let us play a Trainer's Mail. Go ahead and grab ourselves an N. We're not going to play it, though. Instead, we are going to hold this N and this VS Seeker. Let's go ahead and retreat because we have free retreat. And we will, boom, knock out this Mega Mewtwo and take 2 prizes. We got a Field Blower, which is no longer helpful. And we got a Sycamore, which is not really helpful either. We're going to VS Seeker, though, next turn and definitely grab that Tauros off the bench and knock that out. Unfortunately, our opponent does end us, so we no longer have that option to us. We need to draw a VS Seeker, there we go. And we got a Field Blower, which is helpful. Espeon. Jeez. We do not have Kukui available to us either. I don't really feel like Ultra Ball in here is necessary for anything. But we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a Lysandre. And we will take out this Tauros for free. And boom. That gives us 2 prizes. We get a double Colorless and a Grass Energy, so we can attach that Grass Energy to our Wimpod to set up another Golisopod, which is really going to be helpful when he does take this one down eventually. He could use Psychic here for 60, and it would do another. That would be enough to knock us out, I think. So that would do 60 plus 90, 130. Right, but we have the barely enough. Let's see here, and our opponent concedes, and we get nothing cool out of that. So that was a homebrew deck. I was hoping to go against something. It is kind of late in the ladder season. So unfortunately, we're probably gonna get a lot of homebrew decks and a lot of incomplete decks. But a Fire and a Colorless. Why does it say we have an advantage? Why? He has the type advantage. We all know Charmander beats Bulbasaur. We all played Pokemon Red and Blue. We all know this right now. We unfortunately do not get the Talonflame start, but our opponent has no basics for the setup. So that is fortunate for us. And what is this? Is this a Delphox deck? Maybe Incineroar? If it's Delphox, our Golisopod might be kind of useless. So he's playing Entei, which we don't really play a huge bench, so we can play around this pretty well. We just have to make sure we have another Wimpod ready to go. Unfortunately, since we did not start Talonflame, we are not going to be swinging out the gate. We do get the Wimpod. We're going to Ultra Ball here. We're going to discard our Talonflame and our Escape Rope. Grab another Golisopod for the next turn. Hopefully getting some good damage in with that, or at least stalling. Trainer's Mail. I guess we can grab an Ultra Ball, just to use an Ultra Ball for an Ultra Ball. This is really not the most optimal start. It doesn't help that we are on the losing end of a type advantage. So what is he gonna do here? He played down that Choice Band without, which Choice Band doesn't really matter to us because we don't play any EX or GXs, so we can leave that on there. But if he does play like a Scorched Earth, we are going to take that down, definitely. He is going to Roaring Burn. Okay, so we have the Golisopod here. Let's go ahead and evolve this one too, just to get this extra HP down. We're gonna Ultra Ball away all this stuff because we don't really need it. Grab another Wimpod. We're not gonna play this Wimpod because that'll just make his Entei do more damage. Entei does 20 more damage, does 20 base, and then does 20 more for each of our bench Pokemon, so that makes it do, right now it's going to be doing 40 times 80 for weakness, minus 30 from our armor ability, which makes it going to be doing 50. If we play down this, it would be doing 20, 40, 60, 120, 90, so we are going to, so by the math, it actually does 40 less damage, so we are not going to play down the Wimpod. Just to, makes it so that way he has to 3-shot us versus 2-shot us. No, wait, that's still a 3-shot. Oh well, the math didn't work out. But it doesn't really matter. We really need to draw grass energy. He is playing Altar of the Sun, which does not really matter to us because of the fact that we don't hit for weakness anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and discard this Wimpod just because it doesn't really accomplish anything for us. We can only hit him for 80. If we get an Escape Rope, that'd be awesome. We don't, but we get a Forest of Giant Plants, which is okay. I didn't really want to grab a VS Seeker there because we are going to end up using our Sycamore next turn, hopefully. I really don't know what this guy's playing. He hasn't played any other Pokemon. We're not going to play N because he really hasn't done anything during his turns. So I'm guessing his hand is pretty dead. And since he has no supporters in his discard pile, so he probably has VS Seekers in hand. It does feel bad to discard this much energy though. I guess we could have put down the energy onto our Golisopod. That could have been a possible play there. Nothing really vital in our prizes. We do need to get like an Escape Rope here. The Kukui is helpful though. So we'll take that. That would make us do 100. We get this. We need an Escape Rope right here. There we go. We got the Escape Rope. Unfortunately, though, we cannot play the Kukui, which, although it does not really matter, this just prevents him from taking out the knockout on our Golisopod and letting us set up for next turn's KO. We will get the knockout next turn unless he plays something like a Pokemon Center Lady, or a Potion, or a Super Potion, or a Max Potion, but none of those cards really are going to help him. He needs to get a Pokemon down his bench, otherwise we are going to win. Timer Ball to get some evolution chains. I don't know why. Maybe he's going to use them for Ultra Ball. But he lists that. And we're going to hit him with the Well Played. Let's just throw a Kukui down for the hell of it. And go ahead and knock him out. Yes, I want to touch that with energy. Alright, let's see if we can get... We're not getting the most quality of games, which really does suck. When I was testing this deck, I was going against things like Mega Mewtwo, and Volcanion, and Lapras, and that's what gave me some really good inspiration. I mean, not inspiration, which gave me the confidence that this deck was pretty good. Looks like I may have got our wish though. It is Grass and Colorless, so this could be a Water Box deck. This also could be a Low-End Ninetales. If it is a Low-End Ninetales, I am okay with that. Unfortunately, we have no Talonflame again. Statistically, we should get Talonflame 50% of the time. It is Greninja Break. That does suck because we don't get the extra damage, but we do hit for weakness. So we will be hitting for 160, which is enough to knock out a Greninja, but not a Break. So we would need Kukui to knock out the Break. Our opponent is not getting any basics. We are going first too, which is really nice for us because then we can actually take all these mulligans without having to worry about getting end. Hopefully letting us draw into some other stuff here. Yes, we'll take that. Yes, we'll take that. Yes, we'll take that. We do not get a... But he gets the Talonflame start. How is that fair? Let's go ahead and drop this energy down. Play the Forest. So Sycamore here is probably alright because this Talonflame is useless. He's probably not playing any EXs if he's playing Greninja Break with Talonflame. Enhanced Hammer only hits Splash Energy, which most Greninja Break lists have only dropped down to 1. We can always grab that with VS Seeker and Rescue Stretcher. We still have Super Rod available to us, and losing 1 VS Seeker this early in the game is not too bad. So let's go ahead and Sycamore. Try to hit a Golisopod early. We do hit this one. We're actually going to go ahead and put it on that one, just evolved our front one just because if so Revitalizer does nothing. Just because of it takes less damage, it would make Talonflame only do 10 damage to it instead of doing the full 40. Let's go ahead and grab this Force of Giant Plants in case our stadium does get bumped. And then we are going to pass off to our opponent. Having an N here would have been good. We can get a VS Seeker and get an N. Or we can, okay, I don't care about the bursting balloon. He's going to play Delinquent down. So we can go ahead and discard this Choice Band. We can discard the Forest as well. And we can discard the Grass Energy. This doesn't really hurt us too bad. He's going to play Professor's Letter too, though. So he grabs the Water Energies. We really need an N here, though. An N would definitely hamper his plan. We get the Town Map, though. Our prizes are our Super Rod, our Lysandre, and our Special Charge. Go ahead and drop that down there. We're going to have to Sycamore's energy away because we need some more stuff. I'm not going to play the Field Blower. I don't want to play down to the Wimpod because we don't really have a play with it. We need to hit a Grass Energy. There is 1 prize, 1 on the board, that's 2, and we only have 1 Grass Energy left. Oh boy. We are going to have to dig very hard. The nice thing is, though, we are going to be able to stall for a long time, hopefully. We could actually use the VS Seeker for an N here. We need to hit a Grass Energy, and we need to grab that Super Rod to put those energies back into our deck. I don't want to attach double Colorless energy because it is going to, but we are going to go ahead and play the Choice Band and the Field Blower just to take some cards out of our deck, because we want to try to improve our odds of hitting this Grass Energy right here, and we hit it. That is amazing. At the same time, while hindering down our opponent, we're gonna go ahead and drop down on Golisopod and drop down this Grass Energy. Go ahead and play Trainers Mail, see if we can get a VS Seeker or something else here. The Escape Rope could come in handy. The Revitalizer does not really hit anything. I was hoping for like an Ultra Ball or something. Another inclusion for this deck I'm now realizing would be Lilies. Maybe playing 2 Lilies in this deck would be awesome. You could drop probably the Rescue Stretcher and something else. Maybe drop it down to 1 Escape Rope. So he is going to get the Frogadier down. And then he's going to bring it out. We are going to be able to take this knockout, though, on this Frogadier. For some reason, he is playing a Faded Town. Not really sure why, because Megas have not really done that well. So there's the Splash Energy that we were hoping to avoid. But he leaves that Froakie as an easy prize. We're just going to go ahead and take that knockout. And we're going to grab that Super Rod because we need to recycle our energies in our discard pile. Because this is literally our 1 lone energy Our two of our 5 energies are on the board. The other 3 are the discard pile. We need to get that so we can recycle them and reuse them later. He's gonna get down 2 Greninjas here. He cannot break evolve. He's gonna Arrow Ball. Hopefully we can get Lysandre here and take out one of those Greninjas right now. N would also be a good card too. If we actually get a double Colorless, we can play down that double Colorless on the bench Golisopod and Escape Rope in, and hopefully take it. And he'll probably get to give up a Frogadier. Oh, ooh, okay, so that does work. So we're gonna go ahead and drop that down. Go ahead and put 2. Oh yeah, 2 energies are in here, so we're gonna have to put a Talonflame back in, unfortunately. That's not too shabby though. Go ahead and Escape Rope in. Our opponent, it has to give us either a Frogadier or a Greninja. I would prefer a Greninja, but I don't think he is that unintelligent to do that. Go ahead and take this out. Let's go ahead and grab this Lysandre for next turn, because we can take a one-shot on a Greninja. Hopefully, he probably has the breaks though, because he did attack us with Talonflame last turn. So he gets both breaks. So Greninja break. I don't really care about the Shadow Stitching because it takes effect after the damage is done, so we'd still get the reduced damage. The break itself though will put 6 damage counters, right? Yeah, so that's 60. He would have to do 60, retreat 60, and then... Okay, so he's going to Delinquent us. We're going to go ahead and discard our Talonflame, our Field Blower, and our Revitalizer. Because we can use one of the Revitalizers if we have to. But the Lysandre is really what we're looking for here. Just to take out these easy knockouts on the Greninja break. When we do take a knockout, we're probably going to take a Special Charge, I think. No, we're not, because we don't have any special energy in this card. Probably take the last Grass energy. Oh, he decides to go for our bench Golisopod. And he's going to choose to go for the extra damage, which we are going to actually completely negate. So he is going to be doing 50 damage. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and hit him. Because we need a Kukui. Otherwise we need Kukui. We could have took the knockout on the other Greninja just to stop some shenanigans, which probably would have been the more optimal move. I forgot that Greninja break has 170, not 160. Oops. I should probably read the cards. God, I'm bad. Giant Water Shuriken on the bench one again, and that's a knockout. And then Moonlight Slash will do another 50. Good news is we do have the Revitalizer though. We unfortunately need to draw a Wimpod because he's going to do another 50. Which would... Oh, but he's going to Elo Soda. So he does 60 and 50, it's 110. Oh, you mistake! You had... Okay, never mind. You know what, the well played. He probably has like a Evolve 7 water Pokemon, stupid thing. Interesting that he's playing Elo Sodas with how much item lock is prevalent. I have noticed a lot of people are ditching the Evo Sodas as of late. You could have switched and then I don't even know what people are doing anymore. I think grabbing, we're going to go ahead and take out this Greninja right here on the bench. Drop down this, and then Resolute Claws to get that free knockout. We're not in trouble yet. Go ahead and then grab that Grass Energy. He made a pretty bad misplay there. He could have used Giant Water Shuriken, retreated for free, and then used another Giant Water Shuriken if he had the energy in hand. He's got 1 energy on the board, and he's got 3, so chances are he does have all the water energy in his hand that he needs to win this game. I think he just did not realize he could have retreated for free, because Greninja from Breakpoint has no retreat cost. So if he... Yeah, he could have won right there. He should use... Is he gonna Lysandre us out and win here? Does he have a Lysandre or Scizor pile? Okay, no, he does not. Okay. If he had a Lysandre there, he could Lysandre out the Wimpod, use the Giant War Shuriken on the Golisopod, and then... So you can take the free knockout there. And then if he has the energy now, he does win. Yep, he does. Well played. Greninja Break is kind of a struggle, as you guys can tell. The biggest issue was that we made that very big miscalculation and didn't take out the other knockout. So yeah, so that's the deck, guys. This will be kind of a short video. I am recording this on Mother's Day morning, and I need to get some sleep so I can spend time with my mommy today. But that is Golispod Talonflame. Let's go ahead and look at the deck one more time and give you my closing thoughts on the deck. I do think the deck is not... This is nowhere near like regional level, but I definitely think if you are a new player or you have a friend who is getting into the game, this is definitely a deck worth having them build and try out, because it is very fun. It does kind of help counter the meta a little bit, especially if water is really popular. You can definitely take a lot of easy wins off of water, with the exception of Greninja. But like against Lapras, easy wins, except for you gotta dodge the crushing hammers. Some things I would change here though would definitely drop one Escape Rope for another Grass Energy. So here, let's do this. Drop this for another Grass Energy. And then after that, if you didn't want to play Town Map, you could take out a Town Map for like something like an Olympia. I definitely don't want it. I think the Pokemon lineup is fine. It's the item count, the items you can play around with and mess around with and try to get better consistency. But overall, I feel like this is the list I've been playing for, except for the couple changes I just made just now while I was recording this video for you guys, that it has been the most consistent. This is kind of how I build decks. I start with one list and I make changes here and there. I actually did start out this deck with Energy Lottos, but then I dropped those for the Escape Ropes because I was getting they would Lysandre out the Golisopod or the Wimpod and essentially just stall me because I couldn't do anything, because I couldn't draw into all the cards that I needed. So playing the Escape Rope to get the Talonflame back out when we do start with it was extremely helpful. But let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comments below. If you do decide to build it, let me know how it goes for you. It's a pretty cheap deck to build online and in real life. So let me know what you guys think of it and how it goes for you. If you have any suggestions for other budget decks that you guys want to see built, let me know. I love building budget decks. It's kind of a challenge for me because I play so much like competitive that I like to take a break and play these kind of budget decks. So let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Until then, peace out. The Sunny Pokemon can't be healed during your opponent's next turn. And Lunar Fall GX, knock out all your opponent's basic Pokemon that isn't a Pokemon GX.